is CJ Garner Johnson. Oh, by the way, Gardner Minshew just went to the Colts. Who's going to be the next backup quarterback, and how big of a deal is that in March?
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes, Eagles free agency has been an up and down roller coaster. I know the priority guy since day one, since the Super Bowl pretty much ended, was the Eagles are going to prioritize one CJ Garner Johnson. And let's be honest, we've heard a lot of reports. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. But how close is close? You either get the deal or you don't. You know what I mean? So how close is close, and why have we signed Fletch and BG and Jason Kelsey and James Bradbury? We went through the up and downs with Slay. Is he leaving? Is he staying? Did he even leave? Because I'm looking at the situation as, the Eagles allowed Slay and company to go look for a trade. They looked. They didn't find one. When it was reported that the Eagles were going to be releasing Darius Big Play Slay, nothing really happened with it. And maybe in the process of seeing, okay, who can he sign to? Who can he sign to? The market wasn't really there. And or if it was there, it just didn't benefit him enough to leave Philly. Ultimately, he comes back. I hear the narrative on Twitter. He was begging to come back. I don't think that. Again, Slay had his bag. He got two bags. He got 2 bags from Detroit. We brought him over here on a $50 million deal. You know what I mean? So Slay got his money. Now it's just up to certain numbers. And I think that, both parties thought an extension will get done or this, that, and the third, and it just came to a kind of halt, a stop. But Howie Roseman figures it out. Fletch, Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, guys that we really needed to keep. Look, I'm going to miss Miles Sanders. I'm going to miss TJ Edwards, Marcus Epps. But let's be honest, we've been locking up the guys we need to. Gardner Minshew just went to the Colts. It is what it is. Again, I know a lot of people are upset with Gardner Minshew. He's still one of the better backups in the NFL, but we got things we got to prioritize. And right now, CJ Garner Johnson should be the ultimate priority. Let's just say this real quick. The Broncos are making a push on CJ Garner Johnson. Come on, CJ. I mean, first of all, how did Broncos even got bread after what they gave? They paid out the wazoo recently. So I think the biggest money of Russell Wilson's contract should be hitting this year, next year. How they figure to go ahead and ask for or sign a guy like CJ Garner Johnson. And listen, we went through 2 days of legal tampering. Yesterday was the official day. I mean, see Jesse Bates, Von Bell, they got deals other places. I think CJ is a great player. I need him back. I mean, keeping the secondary together would be huge. This secondary was the best in the NFL. Although, again, you can say what you want to say about the Super Bowl in the second half. Is it all on the players? No. Is it all on Gannon? No. It's a combination. But Gannon, to me, takes the most responsibility. He admitted it like 100 times. Shout out to my guy, Blake Hart. He was in here early, same with Trey. Shout out to everybody in the building. Gardner Minshew just signed with the Colts. That's facts. The Eagles will have to look for a backup quarterback. But again, we did have interest in Jacoby Brissett, who recently signed with the Washington Commanders. I don't know exactly who's out there. Again, we heard the Marcus Mariota talk for a little bit. I think he's still a free agent, but again, how much are we talking? I don't even want to really think about our QB2 until we lock up, some other key guys in free agency, mainly CJ Garner Johnson. Mainly CJ Garner Johnson. Jay said, "What up, Philly Mike? CJG will be back. He just wants to get what he could. He knows it's best for him to stay." I agree. Again, I think some of the reasons why he hasn't been signed yet is I do think that Philly's making a huge push. I think that you can tell the way he's talked throughout this offseason, throughout this season, that he really wants to stay with Philly. The way he has James Bradbury and big play Slays back. What did he say at the end of the season? That he kind of got humbled playing safety in Philadelphia in the sense that he credited what he can do as a player, no if, and, or buts, but he gave a lot of props. And he said, when you got guys on the team like Big Play Slay and James Bradbury, it makes my job very easy. And again, why not take a long-term deal where your job could be very easy, at least for the next year? And you do got Bradbury on a 3-year contract. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that happen. I agree with you, Jay. But I keep hearing how close we are by credible sources. And it's like, bro, when you're this close, it shouldn't be taken. If we were close yesterday, what's going on today? And A.J. Brown did hint some good news, because A.J. Brown let the cat out the bag. He pretty much said that what he's been doing is when he hears or knows bad news is about to happen, he'll start a conversation, or at least when he sees something bad happening, he'll start a random conversation about protein bars or this fruit, that fruit. And he's saying after he talks to her about 30, 40 minutes to an hour, he says, "Philly, I was just doing that to get your mind off free agency." Somebody asked him today, "Well, what's the topic for today to get us minds off free agency?" And he said, "We might not need one." And he dropped a little emoji with a wink. You know what I mean? We might not need one. Now, is it because there's no news or good news? Philly Trez, what's up with you? Marcus Mariota, QB2. Hey, if he wants to know his role and take that QB2 money, I ain't opposed to it, because he does run. He's an athletic quarterback that we can kind of transition if Hurts got to miss a game or two. Again, I'm going into the season that, okay, Hurts hasn't played a full season both years, but he hasn't missed multiple games. It's only a bump in the road each time. He missed 1 game or 2 games last year, 2 games his first year starting, and 2 or 3 games this year. Missed the Saints and Cowboys. Saints and Cowboys. So he's not a guy who I feel is going to miss long. Now, anybody can get hurt long term, knock on wood, but you just want your guy to come in and do a solid job for the time being. Legal Side Hustle says CJ and Brian Branch together would be a deadly combo. Hey, Brian Branch, again, as much as I was looking at secondary, talking about cornerback, which I still think the Eagles should do it, right? You got Slay, you got Bradbury. Slay, how long? 1 year. Bradbury, we know, for 3. You got to get younger at the cornerback position, and you can never have too many corners. Never. Not in this league. Not in this league. But it's going to be interesting with us, paying Bradbury, retaining Slay. Let's see the numbers on Slay. Did he even leave? Did he take a pay cut? Did he extend? Like, what is the actual thing? Is this Slay's last year? We'll figure that out soon enough. But I still think the cornerback position is very deep, and we've been seeing these young corners come in and ball out. We're talking Patrick Surtain, top 7, J.C. Horn, top 10, Sauce Gardner, top 3. No reason why we should miss out if we can get one of these guys up in here. Blake said, Legal Side Hustle, that would be fire. Brian Branch is a nice player. And listen, the beginning of April, we're going to be doing breakdowns. Like, I'm going to have a Brian Branch video with everything that I've learned from and or feel about him. Like, even if we're not drafting these guys, I'm going to have breakdowns on a bunch of secondary people, a bunch of defensive people. We'll have some offensive breakdowns too. But again, that's not me saying we're going to draft them. That's just my take on that player. And if so, we do draft them. Well, there you got that on record. Lit City Lambo said, I'm looking forward to watching the Kobe and Jordan grow in Philadelphia. And the combination, I think, is going to be big too, because what is Jordan Davis? Like, just off GP, he's a space eater, right? He needs to be better via the pass rush. He needs to do this, work with his hands, work with his feet. He needs to get in shape. All that is understood, but he's very stout against the run, and he's a big dude. He wants to play nose. So he's a space eater. And the Kobe Dean, one of his knocks was his size, right? When he gets hand-to-hand combat with an offensive line, can he shed the tackle, which he can do, right? No one's saying he can't, but he wants to see ball, get ball. And when you got space eaters, you really count on your linebackers now to find a hole and plug it. Pause. And I think Kobe Dean does a tremendous job doing that. And that's where he really shined in Georgia. So us getting bigger D tackles while we have one, Fletcher's coming back, really letting these guys play together, I think it's going to work. We didn't get to see much in Kobe Dean, but in the little bit we saw him lead the team in tackles playing a quarter and a half. We see him grab and bring down Henry with one hand. Not big. Again, sometimes you don't got to be big. It's about the heart. CJ Gardner-Johnson ain't the biggest guy, but did you see the hit he put on Pacheco? Sheesh. It was a legal hit, but it was so hard. The NFL tried to fine. They tried to fine CJ Gardner-Johnson for a legal hit because it was that hard. Play tough. Fly Eagle 17. So, Mike, how do you think this changes our draft order? Again, it could. I think the Eagles understand that you can't draft for need necessarily. Sometimes things line up. You need his position, and it's the best position available, right? We didn't fully need Jordan Davis. I think if you looked at on paper before we got CJ Gardner-Johnson, the fact that our safety position was kind of up in the air, I think we needed Kyle Hamilton more than we needed Jordan Davis, but we thought Jordan Davis was the better player, and how we did that. He's learned from some of the previous mistakes, right? We don't need a slot guy in Justin Jefferson. We need a deep threat in Jalen Reagor. Blech. Wrong. He's not just a slot guy. He's not any type of guy, Jalen Reagor. And so I think how he really learned from that and just going to keep his board. That being said, you got Gonzo, you got Witherspoon at 10. Jalen Carter might fall. He's eating too many. He's not in shape either. That's the one thing I'm worried about. And again, I want to see Jalen Carter around the draft time, right? 9 pounds overweight, kind of was cramping up. It is what it is. But you can't have two guys. And that's one thing. I think Jordan Davis has all the ability, but can he stay on the field, right? Injury-wise, got to watch that now. He's a bigger guy. It takes him longer to get back with injury, especially leg, ankle stuff. And we've seen him only be able to play a couple snaps. Now, was that because the rotation was so good? We had to go get Linval, go get Sue. And once we had him, we used him, no doubt about it. And Jordan Davis was hurt. That's kind of the reason why we got him too. So it is what it is. What about Reddick? Is he staying? Oh, yeah. Reddick signed a 3 or 4 year deal. He's locked in contract for a minute. Reed Blankenship in his prime equals Harrison Smith. Hey, who knows? Harrison Smith is a baller, and I seen a lot of good stuff from Reed Blankenship in year one. Again, this is an undrafted guy. Plays with a lot of heart too. He's a missile. He's not afraid to tackle that big time, hit on Deebo Samuel in the NFC Championship game. Loss of 10, forced fumble. You see that in him. Now, how's his coverage? He got that pick on Aaron Rodgers, and it was a beautiful pick. It wasn't a just fell in your lap type pick. It was I'm going to go get it. I beat the man there. I made an actual play. All that matters. But still, small sample size. It's definitely interesting, and I'm willing to bet on him, right? Like, what our safety room, he's going to get playing time, especially how much big nickel we play. Well, we do got a new coordinator. We'll see how that goes. Jake said he's 9 pounds overweight. Yeah, and that's big. When you're already that big, everything matters. Eagle Nation, what's up with you? Carlos Rosado said 1, 2, 3 roots. Shout out to my guy. Fitness said Branch and Witherspoon will be deadly. Crazy combo. Witherspoon at 10, Branch at 30. Move up to 27 and get him. That would be a crazy combination. Is Branch a must if you sign CJ Gardner-Johnson? Probably not. But again, sometimes you just got to go with the best player on the board at that pick. And I'm not really sure who's all going to be there at 30. Things can change quickly. Nobody thought, I repeat, nobody thought Jordan N'Kobe Dean was going to fall to the third round. This guy was projected to go late in the first round, mid first round, late first round. Then it was like he has to go in the second round, and he just kept dropping. And I do think he's going to be a major part of this 2023, 2024 defense for sure. Mr. 89 said, I'm out on Jalen Carter. Character concerns, and he's giving me Ben Simmons vibes. Sheesh. Ben Simmons vibes is something whoa. That's crazy. That's crazy. He was too much of a dog in college. Now, again, Ben Simmons was a dog at LSU too, so sheesh. Tragic said it's low risk, high reward with Penny. When healthy, dude is a stud, but injuries are a question with any player in the game at running back. I believe in a dude. Well, listen, you heard what Penny said today. He had his little interview with the Eagles. He said this is a new start, a new chapter. He's fully recovered from the broken fibula that he suffered last year early in the season. And look, that whole running back carousel they had in Seattle with Chris Carsons, Rashad Penny, all the running backs they had over there, right? Like they all were getting injured. They all were like in a committee, but Rashad Penny, when given the rock and able to stay upright, has played good. But again, you got to credit Howie Roseman for having 3 running backs on the roster that is cheaper than Miles Sanders. And Miles Sanders didn't get the bag. Let's talk about that, because I dropped a video yesterday, but the numbers weren't out. 4 years, $25 million. So he's making what, 6.3, 6 point something. Miles Sanders, 6 point something. I think we could have done that deal. But that probably gets in the way from a CJ Gardner Johnson, a Bradbury, a Fletch, guys who I think we need on the defensive side more than Miles on the offensive side. However, we got 3 running backs, whether it's Kenny G first, Rashad Penny first, you got the reliable Boston Scott, all for 5.8 million. Rashad Penny is here on like a $1.5 million deal. Scott took 2. You know what I mean? Kenny G's making like 1 and some change. Don't quote me on exactly what he's making, but you got 3 backs for the price cheaper than Sanders. I think that goes to show you that, Jalen's still part of the run game. The offensive line can boost any running back. And we're not trying to poo-poo on Miles Sanders. Hey, he's with Deuce. He's with Frank Wright. They got the number 1 pick in the NFL. See who they draft. I hope Miles does good, unless he plays the Eagles. Jay said, hey, Mike, can you see how we trade him back 4 or 5 spots to pick up an extra second and take Kalijah Kancey? That is definitely a thing I could see. No matter how much we want cornerback, right? And now the need for it is a little less, because we thought we weren't going to come away with Slay and Bradbury. I honestly didn't think so, but shout out to Howie Roseman for just always being on top of his game. Kalijah Kancey's is a stand stood out to me, since that 40. I'm not gonna lie and act like I don't watch too much college. I focus on the combine. I hear from you guys. I hear from other outlets, and then I go do my study. But I am on the Kalijah Kancey train. Forget about his short arms. He's still very versatile. And I see him going around there, 15, maybe a little later, 20. But how we trade him back is definitely a possibility. And he loves his D tackles. I think it's important to get a corner at 10 if one of them 2 are still there. But the last time we drafted a first round corner was in 2002. It was Lito Shepherd, and we drafted him at 26. First round corner, 26 overall. That was the last time. Mike, right now, who's your favorite corner in this draft? It's really locked. I'm locked in with Gonzo and Weatherspoon. Right now, I think I'm going to lean Weatherspoon. I want to watch a little bit more of Gonzo. I think when I do that breakdown, early April, late March, early April, I think it's going to be a 1v1. So like certain players I'll break down solo, but I think when I actually talk about who I believe the Eagles should draft at 10, if both these guys are there, I might do a Christian Gonzalez versus a Devin Witherspoon. Pros, cons, good, bad, and then my take. And again, it's still going to be my opinion. I would love to hear from y'all for sure. G Meta said, happy belated birthday. A shout out to you, bro. Appreciate the love. Anthony said it's so impressive how Howie has manipulated the cap to get most of these guys back. Eagles downfall where, right? Everybody was saying that day one, Javon Hargrave to the Niners, TJ Edwards to the Bears. Market, what? The Eagles are losing everybody. Did you forget we got a Hall of Fame center back? Did you forget we got a veteran D tackle who had the 6th most sacks out of all the D tackles in Fletchback? Did you not remember that BG, who played less snaps than some of these other defensive ends, still out-sacked them, is back? Like, we understood that we weren't going to get them all. Howie said it. Y'all knew it. We knew it. But if you ask me, Miles Sanders or a key defensive player, I'm taking key defensive player, right? I think the offense is lock and loaded. We have a heavy running back draft. Look, we got Rashad Penny for $1. You know what I mean? For $1. And we will have a lot of comp picks coming up soon. Ivan, what's up with you? Appreciate you tuning in. Kurt G said the reports are saying CJ didn't get the market he thought he would. I don't understand what's taking the Eagles so long to re-sign them. You and me both. You know, the definition of being so close. I mean, close is one thing, but to literally hear from so many different outlets that were so close. I mean, what's the tipping point? If you're that close, if you're so close, what is the tipping point for now you to get the job done? Is it $1 to the guaranteed? Is it $1 to, is it a year or two? Like, what is it? What is the holdup? Again, I do love the fact that Howie Roseman, you know, said pretty much to both him and Bradbury, hit my line before you sign. Hit the line before you sign. But yeah, I don't understand how it could be so close, but yet feel so far away. Davey Boy says CJ wants 14 mil. He's getting offers for 8. We're offering him only 8, you say? That's crazy. Michael said, Mike, you think we should sign Zeke? Listen, I love LB. We do GOAT talk. I was wondering if he was going to bring it up last GOAT talk. He might bring it up next GOAT talk. I love LB. But no, I'm not signing Zeke. I would always entertain it if he's going to come here for like Rashad Penny money. I would entertain it. Miles Sanders wanted 6 mil. Couldn't get him. I'll take a Miles Sanders over Zeke. I can't do it. I love LB. And listen, he not. Everybody has their own opinion. That's what I love about this. From content creator to content creator, from subscriber to subscriber, from me to you. We all see different things. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. It's never I don't like you no more because you're not listening to me. You're not following my exact words. No. The fact of the matter is this. We agree to disagree at times because we all want the ultimate goal. We just see different ways to get there. And eventually, things play it out to see who was right, who was wrong. And guys like me, guys like LB, guys like a lot of these content creators can say, dang, I was wrong. And I was right. Certain times you want to be wrong. I didn't think we were going to get James Bradbury back. I did not think that. I'm glad I was wrong. Super glad I was wrong. But the simple fact is, we've heard CJ Gardner Johnson is our top priority. That is now a incorrect statement. It is. Look, top priority means it gets done first, right? You know, I seen the whole, Slay and Dan Celio thing going back and forth, right? And he was like, he begged them to come back. I don't believe. See, that's where I think Slay gets mad. Okay, you can say I wanted to come back to Philly. You don't got to say I begged. It's a grown man, 32 years old. Shout out to the 32-year-olds. That's me. You don't say you begged somebody. He's made 80 million, 90 million in his career. He didn't beg, but he did come back, possibly for a cheaper deal. That's cool. Credit Howie. But I look at the situation of CJ and say, if he was the top priority, why did we sign Kelsey, Graham, Fletch, Bradbury, and deal with the Slay thing before we got him. We might have approached him, right? Top priority. You're right. It didn't get done yet. But if he was the Eagles' top priority, maybe he was the first one the Eagles approached. So, yes, maybe I'm a little wrong there. It could have been the top priority. But dang, top priority, so close, yet you already signed 6 guys back. Still, I want you to sign CJ back. Banana pudding's overrated. Come on now. You gotta try the right kind. Lit Lambo said whoever we get going to be rocking them Kelly Greens, man. CJ and them Kelly Greens, woo, 23. And I always loved the number 23. You know, I'm still a Jordan fan. Lus, what's up with you, bro? What's up with you? Ryan said, what's up? What's going on, my guy? Bad attitude. Who got the bad attitude? Marina says CJ is a ball hawk, but was the 7th worst tackling safety in the league. He was ranked below 30 as a safety. My brother tried to tell me something about CJ too. He tried to say his, man-to-man coverage this season was bad. Again, I think that it's hard to grade certain coverages and again his system because it's mainly zone, and so you're responsible for this area. You get targeted in this area because of certain depth or not. I think in this type of system you can get credited for for things that are really not in your control, so to say. Early in the season, I thought CJ needed to be a better tackler, but I thought he cleaned it up late. Again, this is not me going off numbers. This is the eye test. I mean, he was rocking people in the Super Bowl, and that is only the Super Bowl. I get that. But I still think from what he can do, the versatility of his usage on the field, whether it's in the box, in the flats, man-to-man, in the slot, deep, cover one, the deep safety, only man back there. He can do a lot of things. And I think that, he's going to get paid as a safety. But, he want to win. If he need to come down in the slot, like you're getting your money worth with him. But again, let's look at the negatives, right? He did miss 5 games. He missed 5 games, still led the league in interceptions, ball hawk for sure. But this was his first year being safety with a really good defense or a really good secondary. So, I'm trying to think of some of the reasons why he's not off the market yet already, right? Von Bell signed for $7 million a year. Jesse Bates, what is it? What would he get? $16 million a year. It's interesting to say the least. Minshew went to Indianapolis. Yes, sir. Now we definitely got to figure out who's going to be our backup. I don't think that's on our, biggest to-do list because, again, I think if you look around the league, if Patrick Mahomes gets injured for the long haul, the Chiefs are done. If Josh Allen gets injured for the long haul, the Bills are done. Jalen Hurts didn't play a full season, but he's never missed more than 3 games. Knock on fake wood, knock on real wood, actually. I think you got to get a guy who can definitely come in and fill, do some of the things that he likes to do. Get a backup that kind of tailored to his game. But I'm not making that my top priority right now while we're still trying to sign CJ and all that. But yes, Marcus Mariota is definitely a good option if he's willing to now come and understand. Because like when he signed with the Falcons and he signed with all these other teams, he still wanted like $9 million, $6 million, $8 million a year. He wanted to get paid that top tier backup money. Nah, bro, no top tier backup money. You a backup. You gonna get backup money. Straight up. Alex said talking is more important than what? Talking about what? Parker Washington would be nice in the slot. That dude has that it factor. Yeah, I'm not opposed to upgrading the slot receiver too, but I'm also on the record saying I'm giving Quez Watkins another opportunity. This is a 6th-round draft pick. Didn't play his rookie year into the last 3 or 4 games. Had a little connection with Jalen then. One of the fastest guys in the NFL. Year 2, balled out. for a slot guy. And then he kind of fell off, but he got in front of the cameras, admitted his regression, understands that he got to make the most of his abilities. But for being a slot guy and a speedster guy, I saw some contested catch ability. I saw some route running in that second year that I'm going to hold on to him. He's only at $2 million. If you tell me you can get a fourth option who's one of the fastest guys in the NFL for $2 million, again, Parker Washington, he would be a cheap option. We got the ops up in here. Cowboys fan talk. What's going on, CFT? Big play Slay. Back like he never left. Hey, yo, listen, I know when you saw that, you were a little mad. You were mad for two reasons. One, because he's back with the Eagles, and we both believe he's not washed. And number two, he took your saying and still came back to Philly. He said, right back like I never left. CJGJ deleted the goodbye video off his IG. That's smart. And again, I went with the whole, oh my God, he's saying goodbye to Philly fans. He's saying goodbye. But let's be honest, these guys are 24, 25 years old. They live on Twitter as much as me and you. Follow your boy on Twitter. Right there it is, at Philly_Mike25. They on Twitter, so maybe day one of legal tampering or before legal tampering started, maybe he felt some type of way. Man, the Eagles haven't called me back yet, or I don't know. But again, we see how the new age athlete is on Twitter. So I think it was more of a let me do this. Let me razzle up these fans, put some more pressure on Howie Roseman. He said, Cowboys Van Talk said, you ain't see me hate on Slay. I ain't mad at all. No, I'm saying, though, he said, I just laughed because some of y'all fans hated him for 8 hours. That's true. Like I said, I went down my comment section. There was a couple people who said, this was a must move. We save money. Slay's a little washed, a little overrated. That's just what I don't believe. I'm just saying, though, did you see how he returned, though? Back like I never left? Something that you like to say. That's my whole thing. Fabian said, get CJ Gardner Johnson back. He need to be back for sure. Steven said, I think we should get Sutton from Denver. Cortland Sutton. Again, Cortland Sutton, a bigger body receiver, can get down the field. He's not a speedster by any means. Good player, though, for sure. He's had some injury problems as well. But again, Cortland Sutton is not going to be a $2 million receiver. And that's where I look at Quez Watkins for still your best bang for your buck. Even guys like DJ Chark, we can get DJ Chark in the slot. He's 10 mil. We can get Paris Campbell. I thought would have been a good option. He just signed with somebody. Somebody let me know where Paris Campbell went. He just got signed by somebody. And if somebody knows the money, let me know. But I still do think that Quez is a great bang for your buck type move. Mere Slime in the building said, Terry, oh my God. How? Lordy. Can we play nice in the chat? Put it in reverse, Terry. Okay, so we got somebody in Terry going crazy. Cowboys Fan Talk said, hey, heck yeah, people tweeted at me like I def seen it. Yeah, I thought of you right away too, because you say that a lot. That's your slogan. So I ain't mad at it. Real quick, how do I feel about the Gilmore move? I even talked about that in when Bradbury re-signed. I believe I talked about the Gilmore move. 32 years old. Again, I'm hoping he falls off a cliff. But I said this last year before we played the Colts. You can go back and watch my video, pregame video, not pregame, but like not keys to victory, but preview and prediction of the Eagles and Colts. I said, listen, they still got a guy named Stephon Gilmore over there. He's 31, 32-ish. You don't hear about him anymore because he's not the defensive player of the year, this, that, and the third, but he's still a baller. And low-key, he's having a good season. It doesn't look like it because the Colts stink. I think that he was the only thing that was positive over there on that Colts defense. I think he did a great job last year in man-to-man coverage. I think he can still cover. I'm just hoping, You play a lot of zone and get him out of his element. You know what I mean? But I know you guys like to play man. I think it's a good signing, and I got to stick with it being a good signing until prove otherwise. In today's game, 30-year-olds are not that. Certain 30-year-olds can get it done. Slay can still get it done. BG's 35, off an Achilles, had his best season. Fletch coming back to life. Lane, you know what I mean? Like when you were talking about all my 30-year-olds, not only did we get them back, but they played very high. Corner is always weird because, it's a young, corner gets harder and harder every year with all the rule changes and whatnot. But I definitely think, what is this contract? What are y'all paying him? I want to know that too. But still, I said it as soon as because I went to bed early last night. I didn't see Slay return fully. I made a video saying Slay might be returning because of the tweet he said the easy to block captain, a battle rapper on Philly. But as soon as I woke up and saw we got Slay back, I said the Eagles still got the best duo in the league, in the NFL. I was gonna put y'all up there, but you know what I mean. I got it is what it is. No Pro Sports said, Mike, I want to know who you think the Eagles should team up at linebacker with Nakobe Dean. That is interesting. Didn't get neither one back. Both Kaiser White and TJ Edwards left. The Bears got a nice solid linebacking core. With them getting Tremaine Edmonds, the dude from the Bills, plus TJ, plus they had somebody. I wouldn't mind Bobby Wagner, but again, like before I can really, and again, does it really even matter for the simple fact that Howie Roseman can do whatever he wants? It looks like, right? Didn't think we were going to get Bradbury back. We did. That being said, I think Bobby Wagner would be perfect because you want a guy like Bobby Wagner to be in there working with Nakobe Dean, right? He's a sponge. The dude was like a chemical engineer. I mean, like he's smart dude on and off the field, right? That being said, you play Bobby in the middle. You play Nakobe Dean at the will, and I like that. I think Nakobe Dean could cover. I would love to see Bobby Wagner. I don't know who else is out there in free agency. If you want to let me know, will the Eagles draft another guy? Sean Bradley has been tweeting like, bro, let me get a chance and I'm going to prove something. So Sean Bradley, a special team ace. We drafted him out of Temple a couple years ago, late in the draft. I had him on a channel once. It'll be interesting. I was looking at the linebacking free agents, but it's slipping my mind. So let me know a couple of free agent linebackers that are still out there, and I'll let you know. No Pro Sports. So CFT said he's making $8 million. That's a good signing. That's a good signing. How do you feel about Miles Jack in Philly? Philly Mike, he's a free agent. Miles Jack was a guy that I was looking to possibly add a couple years ago. I think it was not last year, but the year before. I think Miles Jack was on the trade block from Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. Miles Jack, I would take him for sure. A couple people asking about Miles Jack. Yes. I thought Levante David went back with the Buccaneers. If I had to pick Wagner or Miles Jack, again, what's the money looking like? But I'll always go to younger player. Although, listen, again, we talking about age. Brandon Graham said it the best. This is a different era of football. When BG got into, Miles Jack was cut this morning. Yes, Miles Jack. The Miles Jack news got again. I was off the radar a little bit this whole morning at work because of some things that went down. But let's just say this. Miles Jack, I still think got it. He probably wants a longer term contract than Bobby Wagner. But let's get to Bobby Wagner and just old guys in the NFL quick before we talk a little bit more about Miles Jack. Brandon Graham said on this one podcast, he said, yo, we used to have to do 2-a-days. Like everyday hard practice, this, that, and the third. So back in the day when you were 32 years old and you had to go through the vicious practice styles that they had, it's like, bro, my body can't do it no more. I'm trying to save it for the game, but now they have walkthroughs. Now they have rest days. Now you're going to see more 31, 2, 3, 4-year-olds who were ballers in their late 20s still play at a high level on the defense and offensive side. For the simple fact that they allow you to, it's the commit, the what is it? The players committee? I forgot what it's called. But anyways, these guys take breaks throughout the week. If you're a veteran like BG, if you're a veteran like Bobby Wagner, once you know the system and everything, you just got to be in the walkthroughs for the game plan. We see you on Sunday. But Miles Jack being cut today, this morning, definitely on my radar. But see, again, I don't like to just say, give me this guy, give me this guy, give me this guy. Because again, let me ask y'all, would you rather the Eagles sign Miles Jack or the Eagles to bring back CJ Gardner Johnson? And again, I'm going to say 24-year-old turning 25, safety slash slot corner slash dog. I'm going to take CJ Gardner Johnson. So like, I really don't want to say, yo, go out there and get a Bobby Wagner on a 1-year deal, $7 million. I don't want to say go get Miles Jack quite yet, even though I was advocating for Miles Jack when he was on the trading block 2 years ago. Well, I was advocating for any linebacker 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, remember, we had Alex Singleton, Nathan Gary. Alex Singleton, Nathan Gary. I think that was around that time where Miles Jack was on the trading block, if I'm not mistaken. Around that time, I was advocating for Miles Jack. Didn't know he got cut this morning. But I still need to know. Reports, it's so close. Davion Taylor. Hey, shout out to Davion. He's still on a practice squad. We drafted him with only potential. Hey, listen, let's not be timing people out. Free speech. Unless they're being racist or threatening your life, let's rock out. A little trash talk never hurt nobody. Little trash talk never hurt nobody. CJ, 100%. I agree. Eagles fan said I would prefer Wagner. And said Nate Gary was a beast. I mean, only. Now, I'm not going to lie. Before we got rid of Nathan Gary, the year before that, he played great. He led 1 year, he led the Eagles in interceptions. That's because how bad our secondary was at one time. But Nate Gary did lead the Eagles in interceptions with like 2 or 3 the year before he got cut. And before he got cut. Y'all crazy in the chat. Philly D said, I thought Davion was going to be a player, but it didn't work out. Yeah, it definitely did it. We drafted him pretty much based just off his speed and athleticism, but his understanding of the game never really came through. Like, look, remind you, Jordan Mailata was drafted to the Eagles because of what he looks like, stature-wise. He's quick, big and strong, but he ain't know how to play. Now, Davion Taylor knew how to play a little bit for the simple fact that he played in high school and all that, but his religion and his parents didn't really let him play. He was able to practice, but not play in the games. So he was a lot more behind than even I thought. When I talked to him one-on-one on the channel, I was like, dang. When he straight told me, like, you might laugh at me, but from year 1 to year 2, just being able to shed a block the right way with the hand placement and all that, I was like, dang, bro. I didn't say that to him, but I'm like, she. So, he never really translated, but I love the athleticism for sure. Shout out to my guy D Henderson said, I haven't been on Twitter so much looking for CJ. Yeah. Sometimes Twitter where you got to keep refreshing that. Hopefully we see it. I would think with the reports being so close for the last 24 hours, for the last 48 hours, how nothing? True Savage said Sticks defense was the worst. No turnovers, none. Again, you're right. Nathan Gary leading the team in interceptions is not a good look. Again, though, he was pretty decent that year. started to have a little high hopes. Then he threw his true colors out where he's playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, not even facing the quarterback. Like, what is he doing? Jack Dwight. So, well, somebody better teach big, fast, and strong Jordan Davis how to play. Look, I think Davis played pretty darn well in the beginning of the season. I think he struggled a little bit after coming back from the high ankle sprain. You know, he missed a large portion of time. A big guy like that, rookie year, maybe he just never got back into shape. Not sure. It didn't help that his snaps were even limited more due to the fact that Sue and Linval were playing at such a high level. Milton Williams, the rotation kept him out too. I think a guy like Jordan Davis, to get in game shape, you got to play in the game, right? You got to practice hard in the week. You got to get more reps with the one. And so I think he's going to be a guy that you got to keep him on the field. You know, Nakobe Dean was like a true red shirt this year. Jordan Davis got to play a little bit more, but, you know, there were games where he only played 15 snaps, 14 snaps. Now, it better not be because that's all he can handle. I think that, you know, once you got Linval and these guys, we wanted to give them playing time too, but I hear you. Twits said 2 aging corners. I would like Gonzo, but Howie loves the trenches. Yeah, I repeat, last time the Eagles drafted a corner in the first round was in 2002. His name is Lito Shepherd. It was with the 26th overall pick. I still would like it. Again, you're right. They're great corners, but they're aging. Great corners, but they're aging. I need, especially with Gonzo and Witherspoon being possibly there at 10, I think you might not be able to waste it. G-Metter said, red flag on Jalen Carter. How the heck you show up to your pro day out of shape? Yeah, that's rough. You know, that just makes you think of how much do you want it type thing. Like, I don't like to judge people's character like crazily. But you know, you work this hard. You know, you're destined to be the number 1 draft picker, top 3. And then again, you know, the situation outside of football with the crashing and bang, bang, boom, boom. Yes, it was a dumb mistake. He's a kid. It is what it is. But then, like, coming to your pro day, like, you don't want to have the attitude where I'm too good, I don't got to work. No. I'm too good, I don't got to work reminds me of Ben Simmons, as Mr. 89 said. All that talent, and it went down the drain. I want you to be too good and still want to work. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to fully say red flag now. I still want to see it more. I want to see somebody getting snap them out of it, something along them lines. Mystery Frost, what's going on with you, bro? Champion Life said, I don't believe we should go offense at 10, cornerback for sure, or defensive line. Carter probably was stressing over the crash. He will be fine, fellas. Good point. Best way to get out of shape if you're a big man, be worried about a situation that's going to say, you know what I mean? Hey, there's a thing called stress eating. There's a thing called, you know, I don't know. He could have just been like, my future's ruined, this, that, and the third. A Debbie Downer type thing. I still would love him to just prevail. And again, I'm still going to wait, as Champion Life said, you know, give it some time. He just got his, you know, punishment for all the stuff that's transpired, right? They giving him 80 hours community service and, you know, probation. And so now he can say, all right, this happened to me. It's time for me to work. I need that number 1 pick. And well, he won't be the number 1 draft pick now because Carolina traded for it. You're definitely going to quarterback. Philly West the best said I would move Avonte Maddox to safety and draft a corner at 10 and still sign CJ Gardner Johnson. Yeah. Look, I'm always for drafting a corner. It's a passing league. They go four wide receiver sets. You know, people say, I don't want my 10th overall pick sitting on a bench. LB said that to me, and I hear him. But he won't. He'll play. He won't play every snap, but he'll play. And sometimes it could be the best thing. We need a guy who we believe is number one lockdown type corner. We need a Sauce Gardner, a Patrick Surtain, a JC Horn type player. We need one of them for the future, for sure. Eagles for Life said trust Howie and chillax. Facts. J.K. said get them likes up for the man, mofos. Yes, let's get them likes up. Where we at in the likes? We got over 349 people in here. Listen, I'm not monetized. I'm not making no money ad revenue. I can't get no super chats. I'm still look. Some people said when I dropped, some people in my comment section said, oh, he's not getting paid for YouTube no more. He's not for the next 30 days. He ain't going to be uploading videos. Yesterday, I uploaded 3 videos yesterday. 3 videos. I still love y'all. I still love my bird. We're going to be talking about it. But definitely hit the like button. You know what I mean? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's see where we at. See where we at. Bolt City, all right, Bolt City. Bolt says, so you think the Eagles will get better this year? Yes. I think the offense takes a step up just because Jalen Hurts, second year with A.J. Brown, third year with Devontae Smith, offensive line still intact, minus Isaac Seumalo. We lost Shane Steichen, but the system is Jalen Hurts. Just kidding. It is really Jalen Hurts, but Nick Sirianni game plan with Shane Steichen throughout the week. Brian Johnson was in them game plans. The only thing difference is going to be the calls. When we call this run, when we call this pass, when we call this, but the plays are still going to be similar. It's another year of that. I think Jalen gets even better. How can he get better? Because it's Jalen Hurts. The defense is going to be a little different. Barring we sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, barring we do some things, we got 4 picks inside the top 100. Maybe, just maybe, Nakobe Dean is higher ceiling than TJ Edwards. I like TJ. I would have took him back. I think he got better every year too, but we don't know. Nakobe Dean won the Butkus Award for a reason. Am I going to swear that we're going to be a whole better team? Can't, for sure. Because we do have Cam Jurgens possibly stepping up at the right guard position. We got to see Jordan Davis now playing at least 50 to 60% of the snaps. Nakobe Dean being the guy right now until we sign or draft another one. But I do say that I believe in these players. I was excited when we drafted them. I thought they were the future, and the future is here. Future is here. Hold up. I saw Philly rep and said, Philly Mike, starting from scratch. We still rocking with you, bro. Nah, I still got my subscribers, but I will say that YouTube does not push me out. Like every video I check my analytics, it's like 98% of the people who watch this video are subscribed. 1.8% is new to the channel. And so they're definitely not like put me on suggested videos and all that stuff, but it is what it is, you know. We going through the 30 days, April 8th, we reapply. And we see what's happening. True Savage said Jalen just getting started. I agree. He's just getting started. Jalen Carter at 30. Imagine him falling all the way to there. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. Jay Johnson said, I hope to see some running back screens. Hey, with Gainwell, we should definitely be doing that. This is a guy who can catch the ball very well out the backfield. Utilize that for sure. We definitely, I will say the screens that Goddard this year or the previous year was pretty good. But we definitely didn't use the running back screens at all. Alex said, if you can pick a wide receiver in the first, you can draft a cornerback in the first. But how he believes in defensive line pressure is greater than individual coverage. True. He's always been a D-line, offensive line, a trenches guy. But making sure you get big play Slay back, making sure you get James Bradbury back, getting these 2 guys in the last 3 years via trade and or sign, showing him that, hey, we talk about this being a passing league. We need 2 things to stop the pass, a pass rush and a pass defense. So I think how he's coming along and understanding that, you know, you gotta be able to defend the pass. They go on 5 receiver sets. Multiple quarterbacks throw for 5,000 yards a season now. 4,000 is like almost a normal thing. Jalen would have got 4,000 if he didn't get hurt. I truly believe it. All that being said, hey, if you're going to say all this about offenses doing this, oh, teams got 3 good wide receivers and this, well, it's okay. If that's what you're preaching, then you got to get something to defend it too. You know what I mean? I agree with you though. But Howie, a smart man, he's starting to change with the times. He's been good over these last 2 drafts, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I have said multiple times, Lito Shepherd, last corner we drafted in the first round, 2002, pick 26. Roland said, I imagine the last couple weeks were rough mentally for Jalen Carter. His agent should have known this and had him schedule private workouts for the NFL at a later date, in my opinion. Yes, I will concede that, right? Champion Life said it first. You know, being as down as he probably was about the whole situation could have led into, you know, the problems. However, what if he faces this type of adversity in regular season mode? So I'm just saying, look, in today's world with depression being as high as it is and all that stuff, I understand and I believe, right? Lane Johnson missed time off it. Brandon Brooks suffered all that too. It's still a cautious that if you're going to draft this man 3rd overall, 4th overall, you know, I understand it, but it could creep up. It could be a problem. Hope it's not, for sure. Jack Dwight said, I believe tight coverage gets you sacks more than pass rush gets you picks. Interesting. You know, I see both sides. I see both sides 100%. If you got tight, sticky coverage, the quarterback has to hold the ball a little longer. Holding the ball a little longer allows the pass rushers, great, good, or average, more time, better chance to get to the quarterback. Vice versa. Pass rushers, get to the quarterback quick. Ball got to come out. Sometimes the receiver's not ready. Sometimes the DB sees it and jumps it. So I think you can argue both points as much. I will say this, though. Sticky coverage is sticky coverage, right? In a sense of if I got 4 route runners, right? 3 wide receivers and a tight end. It's going to be rare you have sticky coverage in all of them. Somebody's going to get open. Pass rush, if you get there, you get there. You need one person to get to the quarterback in less than 2 seconds to make him throw an errant pass. Coverage, you need everybody to be locked down to make him hold it that longer. You know what I'm saying? I understand you could say, well, no, if the first read is tied up, now he has to come off his second and third. I still do think, though, let's just look at it this way. Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby were our cornerbacks when we won the Super Bowl. Now, we let Tom Brady throw for 500 yards. I understand that. But throughout the season, we were one of the best defenses in the league. And our cornerbacks played very well due to that Chris Long, Brandon Graham, who was the other guy? Fletcher Cox, of course. I'm trying to think of that one pass rusher. He came to us and left and came back too. Shoot, I can't think of. He went to the Jets and he came back to us. Somebody in the chat let me know. But a pass rush can make corners look good too, for sure. Manuel Gordon said, I have a strange feeling Jalen Carter's going to be like Dean was last year and drop to the third. I don't know about all that. Like Dean was supposed to go. Vinny Curry is the name for sure. But Dean was supposed to go in the middle of the first, late first, and went to the third. That's a huge drop. I mean, I can see Carter, you know, if everybody's starting to get nervous of him, somebody's going to take a chance in the first round. I don't see any possible way he slips out of the first. Any possible way he slips out of the first. Jack said better coverage is mostly accounted for the Eagles going from worse and first in sacks. True, but we also brought Hassan Reddick over here. You know what I mean? Reddick was back. BG. I hear you. But see, we didn't have like sticky coverage in the sense that we played man lockdown corner. I mean, we dropped back in some zones too. We definitely had the true combination. As it pertains to a balance between pass rush and secondary coverage. Mr. Steal Your Girl said, bro, I think the top D tackle and top corners are going and we trade 10. So you think both Gonzo and Weatherspoon, Carter, who's the other guy? Of course, Will Anderson. You think they're all going by 10? I think there's going to be about, all right, let me ask you, how many quarterbacks do you think are going to go in the first 9 picks? Because we're 10. Hey, Mr. Steal Your Girl, I do see a scenario where the Eagles trade back to 15, 16, try to get us later second or an extra second. Harry Roseman's done that in the past. Then you got 5 picks in the top 100. But pause if I said something wrong. But how many quarterbacks do y'all think is going to go in the first 9 picks? Because we got 10. So we got to worry about 9 teams in front. Someone said about 3 to 4. 2, only 2, Mr. 89 says. Philly 559 and Witch King both said 3 or 4. I'm leaning more towards 3 or 4. 2 would be interesting. Peter Riley said 2. So you think only 2 go in the top 9? And then you get like, so who's your 2 though? Like, is it Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud? But what about Will Levis? What about Bryce Young? See, I think Bryce, CJ, Anthony, and even at Will. See, I think them 3 are guaranteed someone's gonna go. Because mind you, just think, you can't think of it like this. Well, this team don't need a quarterback. Well, if you're at pick number 5 or pick number 6 and you don't need a quarterback, but somebody at pick 14 does, 14 trade to 6 to get that quarterback. I honestly think both CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young are all going before us. That's what I think. If it's 2, let me know y'all 2. And I don't know, maybe Will Levis drops out of there. But Carolina already traded up for a who do y'all think Carolina? All right, let me ask y'all this real quick. Who do you think Carolina is going to draft number 1 overall? Is it Bryce Young? Is it Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud? Who do you think Carolina is going for? He said all 3, the same 3 I thought. It's going to make him go in the top 9. Y'all be arguing like crazy in the chat, man. That's crazy. Oh, Lordy, Lord. Y'all crazy. Twit said, T said Chicago is getting that lineman to help Fields. I agree. So let's see. Y'all said Stroud or Young, Bryce. Panthers take Young, Stroud. It's a little back and forth. Young, Bryce Young, CJ or AR. It's interesting. They gave up some stuff for that. Frank Reich starting his new new coaching tenure. Got to get it right for sure. Rachel, what's going on with Rachel? Yo, Philly Mike, what do you think will happen if Lamar goes to Washington? Sheesh, if Lamar goes to Washington, I'll be upset because, I'm a supporter of Lamar Jackson. I think he's good. I think he's being done wrong for sure. If I'm a team who don't have a quarterback, need one. If you're telling me 2 first-round picks plus giving him, the contract's going to be tough too after giving him 2 first-round picks because you want that, but I'd be willing to do it because not having a quarterback is not fun in the NFL. It's not fun. But I do not want Washington to do it. No, not Washington. Abel said, yo, Mike, just got on. Any news? Not really. It's supposedly we're still pushing, and then we're so close for Cedric Garner Johnson. Pause. Gardner Minshew did leave the Philadelphia Eagles. He's now with the Indianapolis Colts. Martin Perez said, Philly Mike, why can't I send a super chat trying to show some support to you? If you haven't heard, I've been demonetized, so my channel is not monetized, so I can't get no ad revenue money and or super chats. What I'll do, because I haven't really went live, I only went live one time or two times since I've been demonetized. But what I'll do for the people that do like to show love, and again, you don't got to do it. You see where it says down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I might drop my Cash App and Venmo there. So if you send something, I'll get the text message and then we'll read it on the screen and whatnot. But I'm just trying to talk to everybody today, discuss the news. And yes, it is stupid because they should have warned me before they did that. In 30 days, which will be April 8th, I can reapply. But yeah, Cash App, Venmo, I'll put up there. Dante said, definitely drop your Cash App. All right. I don't know if I'll do it now because we've been live for an hour and 6 minutes. But like I said, I'm going to be going live multiple times within the next 25 to 26 days. And so, yeah, it is what it is. And listen, shout out to D Dragon just sent me a $2 Cash App chat, and he got the Cash App from a previous video, I guess. Or yeah, he does. He said, "Yo, Philly Mike, you going to watch the Cocaine Bear?" I don't know. We gotta see. But shout out to everybody who showed me love through this time, wishing me happy birthday and all this. It does suck going through your birthday month and all this. And again, y'all be lighting it up with the super chats when we're live too. But honestly, even when you just click on a regular video, like click on a live stream just to watch, when you just click on the video to watch the video, YouTube pays ad revenue too. So like the people who super chat, much love and respect, but every time you click on a Philly Mike video, you're supporting the cause, and I greatly appreciate it. And 30 days will be up April 8th. I'll reapply. And if I don't get it, then we all going to run on YouTube's stage and get them. We all got to get them. Drop the Venmo. Next stream, I'll have the Venmo and the Cash App going in the area where it says hit the like button and subscribe. But shout out to y'all, though. Appreciate the love. Shout out from Idaho, Mike. You are our guy. We'll keep supporting. Let's go. Yeah, the birthday was on March 14th. We signed James Bradbury. If you saw my James Bradbury video, I took a shot, just one shot, on the video in cheers for Philly Mike's birthday, but also James Bradbury. Appreciate the birthday love from Peter Riley and Jay. G Meta said, free Philly Mike. It's coming. But we've been live for an hour and 8 minutes. We're going to chop it up a little bit more as it pertains to the Eagles. The only news that really came out while we were here was Gardner Minshew to the Colts. I'm still waiting to hear anything as it pertains to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'm glad that Slay is back. You saw in my video when I thought he was leaving, I was supporting him. I was like, it doesn't make the Eagles better next year. And I stay true to that. D Dragon said, free Philly Mike, let's go. He said, if you don't get monetized, we gonna riot peacefully. Hey, Lethal Talent back. It took me getting knocked down by YouTube to bring my guy Lethal Talent back. I remember, he's been a subscriber of the channel before I had 1,000, I believe. That was crazy. So he knew me pre-monetization too. It's crazy. Luffy said, Philly Mike, this is why you don't give 12-year-old mods. What's going on, man? What's going on in there? Might get Instagram. I got Instagram. I just do not be on it. I got to figure out why. How you feel about Myles Jack at linebacker? Shout out to the real RMP. We just talked about that a little earlier. I didn't even know he got cut this morning. He's a guy that I've advocated for for a while. Like, the Eagles just got pretty decent linebacker play last year when we drafted Kobe and seen TJ and Kaiser White play pretty good. But when Miles Jack was on the trading block 2 years ago, I wanted the Eagles to trade for him. Now that he's cut and available for somebody to sign, he's definitely on my radar. I would take Miles Jack over Bobby Wagner depending on the money because of youth and growing with the team. We do need a linebacker. Sean Bradley's been advocating to play it. A special teams ace. I don't know if we can really give him that much minutes. I believe wholeheartedly in the Kobe Dean, but here's my only thing with Miles Jack. I can't sign Miles Jack until I officially know what's going on with CJ Gardner Johnson. Because at the end of the day, if you're telling me you get Miles Jack, now you can't get CJ, I can't do it. But I need to know what's going on with CJ Gardner Johnson before I start to really look outside. I mean, the only outside guy we got was Rashad Penny, and I don't not like it. I understand it's a risk, but it's a low risk. I mean, it's low risk, high reward. He's getting paid like $1 million or $2 million. That's it. If he gets hurt in training camp or whatever, you cut him. You probably don't even lose. You don't lose nothing. Nothing. But I definitely like Miles Jack. I think he could. Miles Jack playing alongside of Nakobe Dean, sign me up for that. Again, will it be better than the Kaiser White TJ Edwards duo? I can't guarantee it, but I think there's more upside in a Miles Jack than Kobe Dean situation. I do think there's upside in that for sure. Philly D said, I absolutely get this takes time out of your day, even though something you love talking about, but we all have families. That's big facts. Philly Mike family is crazy too. We got to respect that we played zone to help JB and Slay is better at man though. I think they would decide you're going to see more man. Again, the scheme is similar, but the mechanics in the scheme is where it's going to differ for sure. Sydney family in the building. What's going on? Appreciate the love and support. Dante said we would have to take them with the 30th pick. Who you talking about with the 30th pick? Yo, Mike, what do you think of Denzel Perryman? Denzel Perryman, you're talking about the NFL players. There's somebody in the draft named that. I didn't. Is that a person in the draft? Let me know, Fred Flores, because I'm not sure which Perryman you're talking about. Again, y'all know me. I'm not the biggest college football fan, and I don't pretend to be. But what I do is when it comes to this time, I do as much research as possible on the guys that are projected to go to us and or in our vicinity. So it's like how I would do in high school. I don't study all week, but hey, if the test is on Monday, Sunday night you're doing the cram session, right? And I still got pretty good grades with that. You know what I mean? NFL linebacker, brother. I think Chargers. Denzel Perryman. Why was I thinking of wide receiver? Oh, Perryman. He's a free agent. I didn't know he was a free agent. His measurables date exactly like Hassan Reddick. Are we talking about the Georgia linebacker? Nolan Smith? If you can get Nolan Smith at 30, again, I would love to know what we did at number 10 before we figure out 30, of course, but you can't do that when we're all guessing. But Nolan Smith, his combine definitely shadows Hassan Reddick. Now we do got Josh Sweat on the opposite side, but you telling me we get a chance to get 2 Reddicks, and again, just because you measurable like a guy don't mean you are that guy. You still got to do it on the field. But Nolan Smith definitely opened some eyes. At 30 is somewhere I think he's going to be around, to be honest. Mike, bro, you got to watch BJ Oolari from LSU. I actually did. Somebody sent me his tape. I don't think it was you because it was on IG too. Somebody sent me a little breakdown of him. BJ Oolari, edge rusher out of LSU. His brother is the other Ojulari, right? For the Giants. Sometimes just having that NFL bloodline, you can't just throw that away. Kenneth Murray too. All right, so dang, when I looked at the linebackers that were free agents, I didn't see all these people. Maybe I just overlooked linebacker and didn't really pay attention to it. But I didn't see. Well, we know Miles Jack just got cut today, but I didn't see Kenneth Murray and Denzel Perriman for the Chargers. Shout out to everybody who said that. Dante said Ojulari is small. He can bet he got a nice bend though in the video I saw. For sure. Bailey Young said Joey Porter Jr. is a ball hawk at cornerback. You would go him at 10 or 30 though. Philly D said if the top D-line player's not there, I would have no problem taking Bijan at 10. Hey, listen, I know Philly 500's huge on Bijan. I don't know if Philly 500 wants him at 10 or 30, but I know he's a big Bijan fan for sure. Perriman signed with Houston, I believe. Cornerback with the 10th pick, edge rusher with the 30th. That makes sense. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, does Slay and Bradbury both being back for 2023, 2024 season change Howie's mindset? I don't know. Bailey said at 30. Yes, sign me up for him at 30. Say somebody like Jalen Carter or a great defensive lineman falls, then you take that person at 10, and then you can do something like that. Kalijah Kancey, I want to see where he goes. I don't think he'll be there at 30. You know, I think he's draft stock really jumped up for sure. I'm awake, said I'll take Bijan at 10. He says, sign me up. Bijan going crazy. I'm down here. I've watched him. He's a beast, man. I saw one play in the all 22 tape of him. And one play, dude showed tremendous patience, threw a guy off him, pulled a guy out of his cleats, and then beat a guy with speed in the last 5 yards. Like, I mean, you can't judge a player off one play, but it was like, my goodness, this man did all that and more in this one play. So wait, G-Meta said Slay 2-year extension through 2025. That's the numbers now. We just got that on. Oh yeah, here we go. Shout out to G-Meta for breaking the news. He's back. The Eagles are keeping cornerback Darius Slay after all, with the team reaching a 2-year extension through 2025 per me and Mike Garafolo. He announced his release, but wasn't actually released. The two sides got together and worked it out. The Pro Bowler stays. So we don't know the number yet, but he's signed through 2025. Oh my goodness. Darius Slay and Bradbury will be with the Eagles. One for 2 years, one for 3 years. Let's go. Shout out to G-Meta for saying it, making me look right on Twitter. And right there it is. Big Play Slay signed through 2025. And James Bradbury signed through 2026. Now that we know for sure we got cornerbacks for at least 2 to 3 years, now I think Howie might really fall back on the cornerback at 10. He really might. He really might. Lit City said, big play Slay. Let's get it. Bailey said that's kind of high for a running back at 10. Mr. Still Your Girl said if we trade pick 30 down to like 22 for Bijan, I'm down to pick. But 10 is just too high for a running back. They all get hurt. Every top running back has been hurt. Short lifespan though, too. That's the thing. And I understand what Philly 500 says the same thing. Like, you draft them, use them for 5 years, and you get rid of them. I want my first round draft pick to have an option to retire with me. You know what I mean? On some Fletch, 10, 12 years of greatness. Jay said extending 2 years means Howie has wiggled room for cap space. Yeah, man. This definitely could be the little bit of wiggling we needed to now possibly get CJ Gardner Johnson. Minshew is gone. Yeah, he went to the Indianapolis Colts. Wow, though. Darius Slay went from pretending to be released because they simply said right here, simply said that he was never fully released. Let me read it one more time. Ian Rappaport says the Eagles are keeping star cornerback Darius Slay after all, with the team reaching a 2-year extension through 2025 per me and Mike Garafoli. Well, per Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. He announced his release, but wasn't actually released. The two sides got together and worked it out. 2-year deal. The money has not been announced yet. I'm trying to wait and see who leaks the money. Slay retiring in Philly. Looks like it because 2 years from now, he'll be 34. I want to know the money, though. But oh, snap. What was that? No money out yet. GG Meta said, let's go. CJ, the next man up. Step right up. You are the next man up. We just secured Darius Slay after already securing James Bradbury. There's one man in the secondary that we must secure. We must get it done. Must get it done. The real RMP said, Howie season now, just get CJ back. That's facts. Please, Howie, draft a burner late, of course, but our wide receivers are unreal. But our wide receivers are unreal. We grab Bijan and then go for young speed for the rest of needs in between. Howie vision, as Philly 5 would say, we just all living in it. Philly Fanatic, what's going on with you? Yes, Slay signed back officially. Any good safeties in the draft? Brian Branch, Alabama. Late first roundish. Early second. That's why I think he'll be. Peter Riley says, CJ, please. Yes, sir. But we are now live for an hour and 22 minutes. I just wanted to stay on here to a little closer to the hour and 30. Listen, hit that like button. We got 291 people in here. Hit the like. It is free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. Let's see if we can get over 200 likes. Let's see if we can get 200 likes on this video, this live stream. 251. Sheesh. Now we might as well see if we can get 300. Austin said, do we know if Johnson may be coming back? No, that's the biggest question. That's the one thing everybody's asking. Hold up. Did the money come out? Slay's new deal will probably open up at least 10 million cap space for 2023. Yeah, we definitely need to hit them all up. We got to get a little 3-piece for sure. 500 LB. It'll be lovely. I got to come soon. I'm gonna text him. According to Mr. Oh, wait, hold on. The number just came out. Numbers are in on Darius Slay. Expected extension. Slay agreed to a 3-year, $42 million extension that includes $23 million fully guaranteed. The extension was confirmed and negotiated by Drew Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey. So the numbers are 3-year, $42 million extension that includes $23 million. He got paid more than Bradbury. So now Dan Cilio, $23 million guaranteed. Bradbury had $20 million guaranteed. So when all this, remember, Dan Cilio did say he was begging. See, look, Dan could have said, I stand by it. Slay's not the priority because he wasn't the first one offered a deal. Okay. But if you're going to say Slay wasn't offered a deal first, so he's not the priority, but then you're saying CJ Gardner-Johnson is the priority and he's not even signed back yet, and we already signed all these people, that's mixing your stuff up. But his main thing was, if I was Darius Slay, I'd be mad. Bradbury made all this money, $20 million. Slay's contract is bigger on the same team. 3-year extension, 3-year deal, 38 million, 42 million, 20 million guaranteed, 23. See? But Dan said he knows because he knows because he knows. Darius Slay, wow, 3-year extension worth 42 million, 23 fully guaranteed. He'll be on the Eagles in 2023, 2024, and 2025. 2023, 2024, and 2025. Can y'all still hear me? Philly Fanatic says Slay top 5, money deserved. Tay said, is that supposed to be a discount? I don't know if it's not a discount. I mean, what is that? 42 mil, 3 years. What was that? Like 13 and a half? It's 13 and a half a year. Again, how was the contract written out in this extension of where the money hits hard? 13 million a year is a discount because there's corners making 16, 17, 13, 5, 14. I think both Slay and Bradbury took a little discount. Bradbury and Slay took a little discount. Slay was supposed to make like 17, 18 this year. 14 mil compared to 17, 18. That's a discount. We heard that Bradbury's open market was 16. We knew that Slay was going to get hit for 17, 18. One is around 13, one is around 14. 13 for one, 14 for the other. Who knows what the cap number is for either of these two? Man, CJ about to get it done. CJ about to come too. Mr. Rodney said major discount. His cap hit for this year was cut in half. Saves like 10 million then if it was cut in half. Fred Flores says 14 mil. Slasher says CJ coming back. I wish it was announced right now. Sheesh. Just trying to see one more thing real quick. Hold up. Yeah, that's crazy. I like it though. All that talk about Slay doing this, that, and the third, he was never released. Slay was getting us riled up. But man, Howie Roseman. He got, first of all, Jason Kelsey's coming back for 14.5, 14.2. 14.2 for Kelsey. 14 for Slay. 13 for Bradbury. 10 for Fletch. 6 for BG. Man, the guys that I thought really needed to get back here were everybody we got back. Like I said, Marcus Epps would have been a little extra piece. TJ Edwards, losing both linebackers kind of, But we needed to get our D-line squared away. Fletch and BG are big. That's 18 combined sacks from Fletch and BG. You got 18 sacks re-signed back. You got your interior pressure and your edge pressure. You got your duo that was the best duo in the NFL. Both back. I like this a lot. Mr. Steer goes, I don't know where we are getting all this magic Howie money. Listen, sometimes the cap don't really exist. I'm just kidding. The cap does exist, but they be making me think otherwise. Brandon Howard said, I think as of now, it's pretty much a lock that we draft D-line at 10 and maybe go corner at 30. Yeah, now it does. When I heard that Slade was back, okay, for how long though? But now knowing that he and Bradbury for 3 years, mm, mm, mm. Darius Slay expected extension. Slay to a 3-year, $42 million extension. 23 guaranteed. That is facts. Bang, bang, Bird Gang in the building said, okay, glad Slay's back, cool, but how does this save us money for CJ? Because it could be spreaded out that, I don't know, let's just say Slay's biggest money hit comes in 2025, 2026. I don't know. But Howie Roseman does everything for a reason. And Howie Roseman been telling you, hit my line before you sign. And they've been hitting the line. And they've been getting signed by the Eagles. Some fans telling me CJ took off Eagles from IG and Twitter and now put it back on. I heard he took Eagles off of his TikTok and put it back on. I don't know if he took it off of Twitter or anything else. But the fact that Howie Roseman just locked up Bradbury on March 14th, we had the whole Darius Slay, big play Slay debacle for him to never really be gone, work out a 3-year extension worth 42 mil, 23 guarantee. Howie like, we making it rain. Make it rain. There's one more person that got to rain on. Once it rains on CJ Gardner Johnson, pause. Then we can talk about a Miles Jack. Then we can talk about, trying to find a veteran linebacker to come in and play alongside of Nakobe Dean, which again, we went from having, we lost 2 linebackers. We do have to replace the linebacker position, but I got to get CJ under contract. And listen, there's no telling how he's able to do. This man is a menace. He's a menace. The New Orleans Saints do it too. I don't know how. I be reading articles that the Saints are like $50 million over the cap, blah, blah, blah. Boom. They signed Derek Carr to a $4 million, $150 million 4-year, $150 million. Huh? The Saints are a team that does it too. Not quite as good as the Eagles, though. You can never, I repeat, ever count out the Philadelphia Eagles. Saying 4226 says per Pat McAfee show, the cap doesn't exist. Sometimes I believe it. I mean, you go online, you see where the cap is. You see where every team's cap is. And some teams are just not afraid to spend. But Jeff Lurie allows Howie Roseman. They allow it. Lit City said, Howie playing chess while the rest is playing checkers. I love that. CJ Gardner Johnson unfollowed everyone on his Instagram, deleted every pic, including his Goodbye Eagle video, and changed his profile picture to one of him in an Eagles warm-up beanie. Seriously? Y'all making me go stalk his Instagram now. Hold up. Yo, he really did. Bro, he really did. Jason Reese. He got no pictures. His Instagram is nothing. Like brand new. Well, he got his old pictures on the opposite side. That's crazy though. But look, no post yet. But he is in the Eagles beanie. Yo, come on. Do we gotta wait till tomorrow though? The Eagles not gonna let us get back-to-back good news though. They're gonna make us wait. That's crazy. Let's see if we can get this to 300 likes. We had 284 likes. We need only 16 more likes. He clean slated everything, but he did keep his profile picture with an Eagles beanie. Interesting. If you're going clean slated, Come in with your regular, you know what I mean? Don't wear no hat of any team. Rudy, what's going on? Vincent said, what are we at with the cap right now with the extension of Slay? Negative 40. Nah. But listen, you got to understand that there's a certain time where you have to be over the cap, under the cap. Like, you can go over the cap. You could be over the cap right now, but you're not going to make a deal and sign somebody that puts you over the cap with you not having a scenario of how to get back under the cap. There's a lot of teams that are over the cap right now. By a certain date, it might be May something. Don't quote me on the date, but there's a certain time and date where you have to be under the cap. How are you going to get it done? By that time, we'll probably already restructure lane and do this, do that, do this, do that, rob a couple banks, a couple NFL banks. CJ a troll for real. He be playing with us. CJ be playing with our emotions for sure. He do be playing with us. That's crazy. That date has passed? Nah, no way, because there's people who are over the cap right now. Let me see what day it is now. Official day, you have to be under the cap. Wait, what day do NFL teams have to be under the salary cap? You're right. It was the 15th. So he's right. Shout out to Jack Doyle. I thought there was another time. Yeah, you got to be under the salary cap by the start of the new league year, which is March 15th. So shout out to Dwight. Miss Ash said, I don't think CJ's seen the numbers he thought he would, or that we thought he would. Yeah. By him not seeing them numbers can make us fit our numbers to our liking to still possibly get him. But man, this was supposed to be top priority. This was supposed to be so close 24, 48 hours ago. This was close before we got Bradbury. This was close before we extended Slay. This was close before we re-signed Fletch. You know what I'm saying? This was close before all them. What's going on? Donovan said, look at his Twitter and picture. Y'all trying to kill me today. CJ. Yeah, but that's been his picture for a minute. That's been his picture. Branch had Georgia's top line helping him. I don't know if I'm sold on him. Brandon said, got a plan for the future and our defense. Kelsey and Lane are old. No way we stray from what we normally do. That's draft offensive line and defensive line. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we draft the offensive lineman in this upcoming draft. I do think we got our future center in Cam Jurgens. We would have to replace our right guard for sure, because I think Jurgens is going to play right guard for the time being. But I do think Lane got a decent amount left in the tank. But yes, you definitely got to draft for the future. But as you just said, we got to draft the future offensive line and defensive line. We do. We do. I was just about to say we got to draft the future cornerbacks, but we do got our corners for 3 years. So 3 years, Um, that's a window. That's a window in the NFL for sure. That's a window. I want a cornerback at 10. I think the odds are we it doesn't pan out that way now. Um, unless it's just the best guy there. I still think a corner at 10 would not hurt, especially if you're doing BPA and the BPA leads you to that. Fred said, I think he had to change his profile for a second. So that tweet where he did say the disrespect is real. Who, CJ? I thought that been his profile pic on Twitter. I don't know about IG. He definitely changed it up. Jay says Stoutland University can take a 7th rounders like Malata and make them into Pro Bowls. Yeah, 7th rounders that never played the sport, literally drafted off his stature for sure. I do believe in Jeff Stoutland universally. Alex said 265,000 followers and 0 posts. He deleted everything. Digital Print House said having Stout let us live with drafting 2nd or 3rd round O linemen. Having Stout lets you kind of do whatever you like, and I'm glad the Eagles locked him up long term. Trading back is possible unless it's an O line or D line player that they really like. Yes, trading back is not just possible, it's a likely situation. The Eagles are like, hey, we need to get some youth on this team in a second. You can get a second for going from 10th to 17th to 16th. That's crazy. Peter Riley said the Broncos scare him about CJ Gardner-Johnson. G Meta said he thinks that the Broncos are out. Broncos don't want CJ. Never mind, or they do. Jay Quest said, I feel like Howie felt some type of way losing. We need our first 2 picks that can start, all hands on deck. We did the picks sitting last year. The schedule is harder this year. Facts. You played at AFC East. Forget. Doesn't really matter how you feel about Tua. He got targets galore over there. They went out and got Jalen Ramsey. So the Dolphins are going to be good. The Jets are going to get Aaron Rodgers, most likely. He said that on a Pat McAfee show. That makes the Jets a competitor. They got the Josh Allen Bills over there. The Patriots are trying to get better. We play the Chiefs. Our schedule is tough for sure. All hands on deck. And Howie did feel some type of way with losing. That man came out and said, I feel like I got a scar that's not going away. And Howie's showing you right now, he's for real. John B said, do we use both first round picks this year? I think so. I think if we trade back, we trade 10 to like 15, 16, and then we attack at 30 to get a solid player. I can see a trade back scenario. I don't see 2 trade backs though. New deal for Slay. Yeah, Phil, let me just do this real quick for anybody coming in. Let me do this. Big play Slay. New extension. 3 years, 42 mil with 23 guaranteed. There we go. Big play Slay extension, 3 years, 42 mil with 23 guaranteed. Drop that down there because I'm going to stay on for a full 2 hours. Elijah Moore trade. I heard a lot of people talking about that. And yes, I'm definitely not opposed to doing that. I just feel like, hearing this before we knew what we were doing with Bradbury and Fletch and BG is like, man, I got to see who we get back on defense to know what's really going on. But I do like Elijah Moore a lot. Twit said, appreciate you, but he's about to go eat. Hey, go do what you got to do, my guy. You know what I mean? Got to get that dinner in for sure. C said, Jeff Lurie is the best owner in the NFL's, hands down. Man, I can't argue with that. This is a guy who allows his GM to be aggressive. He wants to win. You know, some GMs do not want to spend money. Some teams have cap space available, but they don't spend the money. The Eagles have never been afraid to max out the cap, to be hit with dead money, which dead money hurts us, but it's also just the aggressive nature of Howie Roseman. But he still has a boss too. Jeff Lurie allows him to be the best GM. G-Metter said Slay's deal saves us $10 million against the cap. Give that right up to my guy, CJ Gardner Johnson. Basically, $11 million a year makes sense. I hear you. Philly 17 said ESPN just announced the extension of Darius Slay for 3 years, confirmed by Adam Schefter. Yes, we got it going right down there too. Big play Slay, doing big things. And they said that we didn't care about him. They said we didn't care about him. We did. We got it done. Hold on, I'm just trying to see one more quick thing. Yeah, great signing. Boots said NFL Network just said 2 years, $40 million, not 3. Yes, it's a 3-year deal because remember he was under contract this year, so they extend him 2 more years. So it's this year plus 2. So he's not going to be 2023 season, 2024 season, 2025 season. So the whole deal is 3 years, $42 million with 23 guaranteed. It's 2 additional years on the 1 year he already had. So if you want to talk about the extension is 2 more years, but the deal is 3 years, an extension. So that's how that's labeled. It's a 3-year deal worth $42 million with 23 guaranteed, extended from 1 year to 3 years. So the additional 2 years plus the 1 year equals these numbers. CJ got to understand, shout out to Jay Quest. CJ has to understand that he's the only player safety full-time for 1 year. That's why he's not getting that Bates money. Yeah, you know, the Bates money was 2 or 3 years playing at the top level. Now, I want CJ Gardner Johnson back because I think he's a stud. And I think other teams believe he's a stud or dog. But I don't think I think he got a somewhat rude awakening on the price. But listen, he knows how good he's treated in Philly. My man said it right after the season. Part of the reason I'm playing at this level was because of big play Slay and Bradbury. I didn't say this. CJ Gardner Johnson said it after the season ended. We beat the Giants. We locked up the number 1 spot. He said, I get treated way better in Philly than I did in New Orleans. He said, part of the reason I can lead the league in interceptions while missing 5 games, be one of the best safeties in the game, is because my corners got my back. He ride with Slay on Twitter. He ride with Bradbury on Twitter. We got the best banana pudding in the world. Come back, bro. What are you doing? We try to run this thing back. Show Enough said, man, he's being a little childish. Yes, look, let's be honest. 25 years old, young. He's 7 years younger than me. He uses Twitter like me and you would use it. He's on that, new age athlete, Twitter and this. Like when he put that goodbye video, yeah, I thought it was a sign of him leaving. But, it could be his emotions running high. He's not on the same page as the Eagles. He just want to show something. You know what I mean? Like, look, Slay low-key said, I'm out. Like, he told us he's leaving Philly when we never really released him. The narrative got spun. It got the deals going, you know. Jack Dwight said Chauncey's not viewed as an adequate tackler to be top safety in the league. Tackling is important. I will say this. There was time early in the season where I thought his tackling was subpar. I thought as the season went, right before he got hurt, and even after he got hurt, I thought his tackling took a nice uptick. But still, tackling, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll be a better tackler in the future. The ball hawk skills, the coverage skills, the versatility is there for me. And I do think, look, all right, so let me know in the comment section right now, what do you think it would take? What do you think the deal is going to be if it gets done via the Eagles or another team? Preferably the Eagles. Let me know the per year money you think CJ Gardner Johnson will get, right? Like, we were hearing 15, 16, just give it to him. But now, with it being a couple days, you see Bates go off the board, Von Bell, this, then the third. You don't got a lot of people asking for him. Let me know. Do you think it's a $9 to $10 million per year basis? 11 million per year basis? Like, what do you think the number is? Solo Bolo, what's going on with you, my guy? Luffy said at the Philly Talk podcast, what do you think about swapping picks with the Ravens to trade for a linebacker, Patrick Queen? 10 for 22, but we get Queen. That could be very interesting. It won't be my first thing to do, but if you're telling me we can get Patrick Queen, and if you can kind of, now you can't guarantee me, but if there's a possibility we can get Patrick Queen and Kalijah Cansey at 22, I might do that. Tay said the goodbye video dang near made me cry. I heard you. I hear you. But again, this is the world we live in where he gets a little emotional. Maybe the first phone call with the Eagles didn't go so well. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get better money. I'm out. Is that the best attitude? No, but maybe he felt that way in that moment. That's what happens with Twitter. You put it on a Twitter sphere. You had that many followings, it gets screenshot and recorded and shared like crazy. You can never say, I had a bad day. Maybe I went a little overboard. But that's just the new age we live in. Witch King said, is Queen even good? I thought he was playing all right. CJ changed a bunch of his socials back to Eagles theme. Quit playing games with my heart. G Meta said, I think it will be 11 to 13 mil per year and some banana pudding. He said 13 mil, Daniel. Supervillain said we need a linebacker, outside linebacker. Philly Mike, he's coming back. How he knows what he's doing. I hear you. Let's see what y'all were saying before I got into that long or whatever. GMC said 11 million. G Metis 11-13. Jerome Kendricks, what's going on with you, my guy? Mr. Credits 11.5, 5 years, 65 for him, 3-year deal, so he can re-up in about 8-10 years, 2-year guarantee. 13, 8 to 10, 9 million tops for him. 3 years, 12, 3-year, 12 mil, 39 mil. What? Oh, 3 years at 12 apiece. Hey, that's interesting. Yeah. Peace. Have a good one. Shine the star. That's where it could be, that 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 on the high end, 9, 10 on the low end. But if it's around there and we're so close, we got to make that. You got to get it done. Got to get it done. Trey said, what do you think about trading a first round pick for a prominent? Whoa. a prominent wide receiver 3 and a later pick. Later, how far? Because again, I understand the want to upgrade wide receiver 3, but remember, our wide receiver 3 is not really wide receiver 3. He's really wide receiver 4, because in today's game, the tight end is a wide receiver. When you are as good as Goddard and Kelsey and Kittle, you are a wide receiver. You are a pass catcher. You are a target. You are a baller. You are a playmaker for your team. So it goes A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, and then the next guy to be 4. I'm not in that big of a hurry to upgrade it, because I think for what Quez is costing, I like Quez. I know he let us down. I think he'll be better, though. Terrence Jones, so we bringing my guy back. We need CJ to run it back. Run it back, CJ. Jack Dwight said, hoping he gets enough to get us a 4th round pick. Right now, it's a 3 and 3/6. We're hoping he gets enough to get us a 4th round pick. Right now, it's a 3 and 3/6. You're talking about the comp picks next year? Ryan Rollman, Philadelphia Eagle News, said, do you think we get it done with C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I do. I think it's going to be around 11 or 12, though, a year. About 12-ish. When does official free agent start? March 15th was the official. So March 13th and March 14th was the legal tampering window. March 15th and today it's here. So when you get somebody, you can sign them right away. You don't got to wait a couple days. The legal start is now. Gio said we need that dog in the backfield, hawking balls. Pause. Big facts. I mean, like when you get a guy like Brian Dawkins to come out and just talk that highly about him. And I understand Brian Dawkins was a tackling machine, so they're different. Their styles are different. No if, and, or buts about it. However, you know, he brought the swag to the defense. He was not the catalyst necessarily, but he did some things that got the defense back in action, back ready to go. Big time turnover machine. And again, he gave credit to both Bradbury and Slay for part of the reason why why he had this type of breakout season. My granddaughter says, pay CJ Gardner-Johnson $8 million. Smart girl. Hey, 8 a little low, but if he take it, he take it. You know what I mean? We do got Jalen Hurts to come. I think I would give him a little more. Again, how he not going to low ball him or low something him just so he could walk out the door. But he's definitely not going to get what he was asking for to start this offseason. Tay said, who's our backup quarterback right now? Ian Book is our backup quarterback at this point. Gardner Minshew went to the Colts. Since we most likely won't keep our first 2-round picks, what are some players you would trade one of our picks for? Like AJ last year. I don't think see, it was cool last year because we needed a dominant receiver. We got him. We paid him $100 million. Here's the thing. When you trade your draft pick for a player, if he's not on his rookie deal, well, now you got to pay him that contract. Maybe he's like AJ where he's about to get off it and he wants an extension and you got to pay him his extension. See, the luxury of having a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick is that if you draft a guy who can come in and contribute, Sauce Gardner, top 5 pick, but he was top 3 cornerback in the league. So the man gets in his rookie season. He's a top 2, top 3 guy, and he's getting paid rookie money. So having rookies is important. It balances out the roster. We want guys who can play. Look at Smitty. Smitty was inside the top 10. He was the 9th receiver in receiving yards, but he's the 42nd highest paid wide receiver. You see what I'm saying? If you trade all your picks for guys that are on the books for money, you're going to be tied up. Plus, we do got the Jalen thing. So as much as it was cool and fun, you got to get some good talent on rookie deals. You just got to. King Henry in a perfect world. I would love that for I'll be crushing it on Madden for real, for real. But we definitely got to get some rookies up in here. Gots to. H Ride said if CJ decides not to come back to Philly, where is he going? I mean, I heard the Broncos were interested in him, the Bengals were interested in him, but that's the only two names I really heard thus far. Salsa baller, he's a big time baller for real. Jason said, do you think we still trade Quez? No, I don't think so. And again, he let us down a little bit. A couple big time drops, but he's a top 5 fastest guy in the NFL. He showed me contested catch ability. He showed me the ability to make big plays. He definitely needs to step up. He came out and admitted he needs to be better. These are things that make me feel he can get better or back to what he was in year 2. And he's only worth $2 million. So if you trade him, what are you getting back? If you can get a 4th round pick, then yeah, maybe, because he was a 6th round pick. But if you get a player, well, you got to pay the player what he's worth. Even a wide receiver 3 is going to be probably making 4, 5, 6 million. Quez is a good bang for your buck. Pause. Only costs $2 million. I'm willing to give him a benefit of the doubt. Bijan or Gibbs? I haven't fully looked over the whole tape. I think Gibbs gives you a different dimension, and Gibbs is talented. But from what I've seen of Bijan, I think he's the top running back in the draft. I do want to watch a little bit more on Gibbs. I really do before I commit. But as of now, I'm going to say Bijan. I think Bijan is just incredible for what he can do. The patience, the balance, the explosiveness, the ability to really just pull you out your cleats. It's crazy. T. Jones says, who you think we draft at 10 now with both cornerbacks coming back? It's tough. My confidence level of drafting a cornerback is low now because they're not just coming back. Like if Bradbury came back for 1 year and Slay for 1 year, it's different. These both are coming back for 3 years. But if Howie sticks to the BPA model, the best player available, it might be Gonzo. It might be Witherspoon, and then you might have to do it. My level of confidence is lower, though, for real. Jason said CJ wants to be in Philly. He's trying to make sure the money is close, I believe. Yeah, but the only thing that got me worried is we talking about close to getting the deal done for 48 hours. That's a long time for being close. Quez got butterfingers. Get him out of here. I mean, he dropped some balls, for sure, but it's crazy. Eagles has landed, said Gibbs never fumbled. Bijan has a fumbling problem. Well, then you got one with high risk, high reward, and one with a more better floor, one higher ceiling, one higher floor. What do you want to do? I always take this. It's tough. Slay at free safety. Slay coming back to play corner. Jay said Deuce Vaughn in the 5 next to B. Scott and D spelled. And Darren Sproles. Who's Deuce Vaughn? You can't pass on blue chip players. It's ludicrous. I hear you. And how he's been better with drafting best player available. So we'll see. Brandon said, no way I waste a top pick on a running back when Gainwell is that dude. Every time he touches the ball, it's a positive play. He's extremely physical for his size, fast, shifty. He's basically Brian Westbrook 2.0. Some big time propping up. Now, look, I'm a fan of Kenny G. You got to look at what we did. Miles Sanders signed with the Panthers, 4 years, $25 million. I think that's what, 6.25 per year. We got Rashad Penny, Kenny G, and Boston Scott for 5.2. So we got 3 running backs to Miles Sanders for $1 million less. Sometimes you got to go cheap at a position. We chose to, but I do believe in Kenny G. I don't think he can tote the rock 15 to 20 times by himself throughout the totality of a season, though. That's where I think you need a guy to have a 1-2 punch, 1-2-3 punch, because the punishment running backs take are crazy, and I don't think he has the body to sustain that. But I do think he'll be the lead back. I do think, Rashad Penny's going to give him the opportunity to stay healthy. He's been productive. We'll see where all this translates, though. I like Kendre Miller, too. That boy's fast. Don't be surprised if we don't. And according to some of these scouts, there's like 13 running backs that in other drafts would be higher or more highly touted, but because it's so deep. So who knows? You guys really fell in love with Chauncey. Man, we love CJ. You know what I mean? Part of, like, look, Philly loves somebody who's just going to go all out and ball. Like, yes, we're going to be mad when things don't work out our way and this, that, and the third. But, having a player that just gives it all and just, we tend to fall in love with them type of players. For sure. Jason said, I think they take Branch at 10 if no CJ. That high? I thought you might have an opportunity to get Branch around 30. But again, things change in the draft for sure. Everybody loved Westbrook. G Meta. Luffy said, Penny built like Westbrook, more like Kenny. Dev said, is Watkins a free agent? I believe so. No. Watkins is under contract. He's not a free agent. If Jalen Carter slides at 10, should we grab him? If you would have asked me this like 4 or 5 days ago, I'd have said, hell yeah. And I still think I would. I want to know more about the situation. Supposedly, he came to his pro day, 9 pounds overweight, was cramping up, couldn't finish the drills. Now, these are drills. But you got the character problem. And then I don't say it's fully character because it could have been just a bad decision. But you got the concerns of him making wrong decisions. That could be cleaned up. Now, possibly the possible situation and him possibly getting jail time and or big fines or probation was looming over him so highly that he kind of fell out of shape. I don't know, but the fact that he had the opportunity to be the number 1 pick in the draft, number 2, top 3, and it doesn't look like he's pouring it all into it concerns me. Especially having a guy like Jordan Davis, where one of our biggest things that we have to see is can he be in game shape to play at least 70+% of the snaps. Now, not everybody can play 100%, but I need 70. I mean, Jordan Davis can't be out there for only 30% of the snaps, 25. Scares me. Will I just throw him to the sideline from that? No. If he's around 10, I'm going to, and I think Howie will think about it too. But it's concerning a little bit. Hey, Jay, I appreciate you sticking around for dang near 2 hours. Appreciate the love and support, my guy. Mish Ash said, Penny should stay healthy here. Our strength and conditioning team is legit now. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen players never be able to stay healthy in one area, leave and be good. Shoot, we've seen people leave and then come back, and then once they come back to that same area, get hurt again. You know what I mean? D-Jack was like that. And Philly got hurt, left. He played like 12 games and 13 games when he was with Tampa and Washington. Came back to the Eagles, played 4. Just something about it. But our strength and conditioning is better. He should be RB2. He should be a complimentary piece. He should get smaller touches. And we got to hope for the best. But at the end of the day, he costs $1.5 million. 1.5 mil, that's nothing. What if we get Zeke and release Penny? I love LB. That's one thing that we definitely disagree on. I'm not big on trying to bring Zeke on this team. If the money was absolutely right, if you're telling me Zeke is coming for Rashad Penny money, 1.5 mil, why not? I'll throw a flyer on anybody then. And I don't think Zeke is fully washed. But I think that 3.8 yards a carry is telling. I think that because he was sharing the rock with Tony Pollard, The more carries you have, the lower your yards per carry. The less carries you have, the more it should be. Percentage game. I can't. I wouldn't do it. I know. Listen, we now talked about it a little bit one time on Go Talk, and he's standing by his take, and I ain't mad at it. But I can't. I don't think so. Again, and I don't think if Zeke goes anywhere, he's not fitting to take no 1.5 mil. He's gonna want like 4 or 5, 6 mil, something. Even if it's a 1-year deal, he's gonna want something. I mean, we got this man 1.5. Our 3 running backs combined is 5.2. No Blah said, I'll take a healthy Penny over Zeke any day. Yeah. Odds are Zeke is more durable, but Zeke's been getting hurt too. And I'm not really ready to go call him washed, but I do not think we'll get the best out of him. I don't think we would get Zeke anyways. He costs too much. Yeah, that's my thing. So, like, it's even if you try to compare Rashad Penny and Zeke and you think Zeke's better, neither here or there. Like, I'm not trying to argue that. I'm talking about Zeke at $5 million, Rashad Penny at 1.5. The bang for your buck type deal. Jason said we can use Zeke like Blunt, and I hear that, and that's what LB's thing is. Behind this offensive line, he'll be able to be key inside the red zone and times like that. But I think Blunt was still balling, and I think, man, 3.8 yards a carry is not good. You don't want to be under 4 yards a carry. You just don't. Now, he was playing hurt. Supposedly, Zeke was playing hurt. If that's the case, okay. But 3.8 yards a carry is hard to explain, especially getting less carries. Your yards per carry should go up, not down. Country said, give me Cansey at 10, then Branch or Skinner at 30. I don't trust Reed with speed receivers. Another corner will rise in 2 years to draft. Yeah, I mean, how we could play the game saying we just got Slay for 3 years, Bradbury for 3 more years. They're both going to be here through 2025. Let's play the long game and now build up the rest of this defense. We'll have plenty of opportunity to take a corner in the first round eventually. Mind you, Lito Shepherd was the last time he went corner in the first round, and that was 2002. Long time ago. Digital Print House said, what does CJ stand for? Chauncey Johnson, Gardner Johnson? Yeah, I don't know. Why did the CJ? It is CJ GJ, but his name is Chauncey Gardner Johnson. That is a little weird. I never really thought about it like that. And I also am a firm believer that once you're a Cowboy, I don't want you. Now, look, if a player's good and he plays for the Cowboys and he's free agent, it won't fully deter me, but man, we keep getting burned by these guys. Miles Austin, DeMarco Murray, even Orlando Scandrick. You know what I mean? Again, that doesn't mean the next guy will do it, but it is what it is. Nobody wanted to hit that blunt. Sheesh. Mr. 89 said, never grab Cowboys leftover. Prime example. There you go. Triggs said, y'all hate Zeke because he's a Cowboy. Zeke not getting hit to the second level, running over DBs. He averaged 3.8 yards a carry last year. I'm not making that up, though. That's a fact. Our offensive line is better. True. But Tony Pollard played with that same offensive line as Dallas. You can argue the point that Zeke was hurt and playing injured. But Tony Pollard averaged damn near 4.5, 5 yards a carry. Zeke was under 4 with less carries. Zeke never been under 4 with double the carries. Numbers don't lie. Now, numbers don't mean everything, but they don't lie. Oh, Chauncey, yeah, he's a junior. There we go. Chauncey Garner Johnson Jr. So it's CJ GJ. There we go. Shout out to Jay Glack putting on some stuff. He goes by CJ. His last name is GJ. Yeah. Philly Mike, can you imagine Zeke on the goal line plays? But Penny is just as good on the goal line. And I'm saying Zeke will probably cost 5. Penny costs 1. Penny cost a penny. Like, pun intended. Mir said, yo, Mike, remember that tackle Jamon Brown that fixed his glove in the middle of the game, helped sack Wentz, then took a picture with Lamar Jackson after the game? Yeah, man. Some rough times on the O-line through that last couple years with Wentz for sure. Sheesh. Yeah, I hate Zeke because he's a Cowboy. I'm going to be real. Yeah, I mean, that definitely plays in the back of my head, but that's not the end-all, be-all. Like, I can't deal with the 3.8 yards. But look, I understand some of the points. He's a bigger back. He complements Kenny G. He can do this, do that. What's the dollars? What's the numbers? Scoob-Doo said, I'm cool with Scott and Gainwell's feature backs with Trey and Penny's fighting for that third spot. Yeah, I like it. And if Penny can stay healthy, he might be able to even pass Scott. I'm not saying, I'm not giving nobody the benefit of the doubt. During training camp, the best players will be on the field. The second best players will be behind the best players. And that's just who I am and how I get down. And I think that's what we would do. Running back by committee, we'll see what happens and go as needed. The Riding the Bench podcast says Zeke is signing with the Bucks. Is that your take or is that true? Parsons is the only Cowboy I don't currently hate. Brandon said Penny's our number 2. He's better than Scott. Is Scott Trey going to fight for the third? Expect when we face the Giants, Scott need to be RB1 for sure then. He said, I agree. Zeke will ask for too much. LAFK says Scott won't be back unless it's the Giants game. That boy on special teams. Sheesh. Nah, man, listen, $2 million for Boston Scott is worth it. That's $2 million for 2 big dubs against the New York Football Giants. CJ said those backs are not it. Need more. I think Kenny G could be better than people. I think Kenny G is better than. I don't think people realize what Kenny G can be. I'm not saying he has the ability to be that on a heavy run per game. Like if we're running him 17, 15 times every game, yeah, you need to change it up. You need to have some other backs. And Rashad Penny is a total flyer. He's never been healthy. And that's part of the reason why he costs 1.5 mil. Again, Howie Roseman, that's our GM. Best believe if training camp comes and Rashad Penny already cramping up or hurt, we gonna go get another back. Howie Roseman, good for it for sure. Jack Dwight said, you guys actually see Gainwell as the lead running back? I can see Gainwell be a lead running back in a committee. A lead running back in a committee. So, Gainwell, whoever's next, and whoever's next. Meaning if we run the ball 21 times, Gainwell got 12, another guy got 6, and somebody got 5. 12-6-5. 12-7-4. The lead back in the committee. Now, if I got a guy like Miles Sanders, to me, had the talent to be a guy who runs 15, 16 times, and then the next guy only gets a couple. I don't know if he can be that guy who can run 15, 16, next week 17, next week 14, next week 18, next week 22. Got to see it, though. Missed 37 games in the last 4 years, not cool with the sign. And that's also why he got 1.5 mil. It's a big time, come prove it. I think signing is confirmed for 2 years. Okay, let me see. They really got him? Did they just do it? I don't see nothing on it. Shout out to the Ride and Bench podcast, though. Nina in the building. Hey, Mike, I need to hear some CJ GJ news. We all do. We all really need to hear it. The Bucks are interested in Zeke. I saw that earlier on a report. Interesting. Shout out to my guy Michael Fedler with the $20 Cash App Super Chat. He didn't say nothing, but shout out to my guy Michael Fedler in the building somewhere. Appreciate it. See, shout out to the ones who know my Cash App without even me putting it up there. The next couple streams I do, I'm going to do it because I'm demonetized. I can't get super chats, but you don't got to do it. But, you know, super chats always get to the forefront because they're the supers. And shout out to my guy Michael Fedler dropping the $20 you already know. If it was the weekend, which is one more day, Crown Rizzy, bang. But shout out to my guy Michael. Jack said, this is our Super Bowl window. Don't want adequate at any position. I'll give you that. But Howie Roseman has shown the aggressive nature to upgrade any position that is not adequate or just adequate. Look at D tackle last year. Jordan Davis, Marlon T gets hurt. He could have waited the 5 games. He said, nah, we go get D tackle. You know, I can really see. And again, this is Harry Roseman throwing a $1.5 million contract on a flyer. If he's healthy, Rashad Penny did show some signs of, oh, this kid can play. He's 27. Odds are he's not going to be healthy. That's why he signed a $1.5 million deal. Just think about this. Boston Scott is making more than Rashad Penny. Goes to show that we're not putting all our eggs in the Rashad Penny basket. But Kenny G is versatile. And I do believe he can do more than the average person thinks. Kenny G, Penny, Trey, Sermon, not a bad trio. We about to see. Prince, what's going on with my guy Prince in the building? Brandon said we drafted a running back. That could be an option. What if we draft with the 100th overall pick, the Eagles select a running back out of the 2023 draft? A couple scouts have been toting not just the top 5. They're saying 10 to 13 deep this class is. If that's the case, sheesh, you draft one at the 100th overall pick. He might be able to fight for 2nd or 3rd, maybe 1st. You never know. Kamara was a 3rd round pick. You know what I mean? There's been, later round running backs that ball out. Mr. Ronnie said, looks like the Bengals are not going for CJ. They working on signing Nick Score. Good. The Bengals need 2 safeties. Go ahead and sign Nick Score. Get away from our guy. Shout out to Ronnie for letting us know. Brandon Salafimo, we signed an undrafted punter. When's the last punter actually drafted? They don't normally get drafted too crazy. Anyone in the upcoming draft you would want Philly to snag? I'm big on. I was huge on both the 2 corners I thought would be there at 10, and Gonzo and Witherspoon. Now that we got Slay and Bradbury for 3 years, do I think that's I think it's a little less realistic. But I think it's hard for me to fully pick because I do believe that Howie might trade back, garner more picks. Jose said freaking Howie's going to make a move that's going to have other teams say, dang, that's how he does it. The corner, what's going on with you? Trigg said, Penny and Kenny. If it rhymes, it must make sense. Don Julio said, CJ coming back. Broncos signed a safety. Yes. Okay. So who did the Broncos sign? Don Julio? According to Ronnie Pudo, there it is. Rams safety, hashtag Rams safety, Nick Scott, not Score, has agreed to a deal with the Bengals. So there it is. My bad. Nick Scott to the Bengals. Nick Scott to the Bengals. CJ's about to come. I can feel like I low-key wanted to get off 30 minutes ago. But I got this feeling that as soon as I get off, now somebody said he's not signing. Eastside Monster, what's going on with you? Broncos drafted Cade Stearns. He's replacing Kareem. Mir said, Mike, this class is deep. Running back is deep, 20 deep. Sheesh, I said 13. My man said 20 deep. And he watches college football. Miss Ash said the Broncos and the Bengals, the Beagles. are the ones that have an opportunity to get CJ. Trigg said Weatherspoon can play safety, draft him corner to safety, transition is easy. I think if you are if you're heavier in a zone, if you're a zone concept corner, I think it's a lot easier to go to safety than if you're just like a press man guy. I think it's harder then. Plus, guys who usually play in a slot, like the slot position is now one of them positions where the way we ask slots to play, dropping back in coverage and stuff, I think the slot and the safety can be interchangeable at times. And we just seen it with CJ playing lights out at the safety position. What's going on, East Side Monster? CJ signing soon. I feel it. I've been trying to hold this out because I thought I could feel. I said I was going to get off at an hour and 30. I said I was going to get off at 2 hours, and now we're going on 2 hours and 30 minutes. Jason said, I think we need a corner. We did just sign 2 corners, Bradbury and Slay, or we did just re-up 2 corners for 3-year deals. Could Howie's mindset be within the 2024, 2025, 2026 draft, we end up getting a corner? I'm not opposed to going. I still think if corners, Howie got to remember, BPAs sometimes it's always great when the best player available is somebody you need on your roster too. But BPA is good as for the long-term thinking. And with all the guys we sign back, depending on what happens with CJ, I mean, BPA might be exactly what we need. Stay on, bro. I hear you, my guy. J Quest. Tariq James said, what do you think about Sean Desai? I was a little questionable at first. I know some people say he's the same thing as Gannon, and yes, schematically they're the same, or they're similar for sure, but the mechanics inside the schematics, the scheme is what differs. You're going to see more design coverage or not design, disguise. Sheesh. That's what happens when you're on for 2 hours and 26 minutes. Disguising in the sense that we look like we're playing man, we drop back and play zone. We're playing zone, we drop up and play man. You're going to see legit multiple fronts in this scheme for sure. And although they both don't like the blitz a lot, when he does blitz, he disguises the blitz. He sends exotic blitz, and he does play a tad more man coverage, a tad. So if anybody likes the Jonathan Gannon scheme, I think this is the better way to run it. And it really comes back to, of course, Vic Fangio's scheme. But I do think the signing was good. We saw Slay and Bradbury and CJ both all thrive in this scheme. So now you take this scheme and you just be more creative with it. Take the scheme and be more creative. And that's what I think we're going to get from Desai. I hope. He said, I'm tuned in for as long as you're going to stream. Shout out to you, bro. Jay said, I have no problem taking a DT at edge with the first 2 picks. A DT and edge, me either. I really just want who's to be, and that's why I can't wait to see. Come April, I'm going to be diving a lot more in this. Like, look, we're going to be doing something like this, but I'm going to pull up. I'm going to be on that side. I'm going to be in a little square. And we're going to have the mock draft up here, but I'm going to be asking y'all to make the picks. It's going to be a live mock draft. We did this every year that I've been a part of YouTube. It's going to be fun. Desai uses safety blitzes and our edge rushers are going to eat like that. East Side Monsters and Eagles always go O-line early in the draft. It's going to be defense with the 10th and the O-line. I mean, I can't get mad at it. You know, that has been our bread and butter over the last 10 years, being dominant up front on both sides of the ball. Fred Flores says, yo, Mike, you still on? went to get something to eat. The longer the CJ saga goes on, the better chance of him to come back home. I agree. Every single of course, when you hear the reports are this close, this close, this close, you're like, how can something be this close for this long and not get resolved? When something is close, you don't stop talking about it. Oh, yeah, we're close. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. No, bro. When you're close, you stay on it until it gets done. But I will agree, Fred. Every day that goes longer, every day that another team is not offering this amount of money for CJ means it decreases. Now, again, we're talking what? 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days in, it doesn't decrease. But that's why I also like revisiting free agency after the draft. The players who are in, and listen, CJ will not be available after the draft. He will not. However, you come back after April, that May, June, these guys are extra discounted. And we've made trades, we've made signings that have impacted the team just last year, August. You're not really looking for free agents in August, Bradbury. You're not really thinking a trade's going to pop off in August, CJ. When you have Howie Roseman as your GM, if there's something that isn't available, if someone is available, Howie going to at least have a conversation. There's going to be a conversation in place for anybody who is available, disgruntled. If you picked your nose, Howie Roseman knows. He's like, yo, he's picking his nose a lot. We got, he knows what's going on. He's in tuned. I love that about him. I see a lot of Bijan in the chat. G Meta said, get it done. I heard he likes 3-4. I believe so. I think that's gonna help a guy like Jordan Davis, though, for sure. Fly Eagles Carson said, who needs TV when you got Philly Mike show? Hey, shout out to you. Appreciate it. Did we get over 300 likes? Oh, it scared me. I thought I saw a dun-na-na, dun-na-na. Did we get the 300 likes? My phone about to die. 354 likes. More likes than people in here. It's about that time. Scoob-Doo said Keely Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia, right? Like, he's another guy that, say we do go defensive end at 10, right? And you still want to get a cornerback in the first to eventually, take over for one of these other corners we got. Ringo, man, I think he'll be there in the late first. I think he would have been drafted early, if he never got hurt. You think Thielen has something left in the tank? I think he's an interesting name still out there. Yeah, I do. Thielen just came from a team where he was the number 2. Number 2. And for the first half of the season, he was literally the number 2. Now, the second half of the season, the Lions trade TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings, which made, it go Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and then Thielen. But Thielen coming over to here and beating them number 4, he has it. See, sometimes from the when you are number 4 receiver, and I don't know if Quez can get this mindset right? Year 2, Quez was catching balls, for the simple fact that he was used often in the offense. Quez Watkins is now a guy who runs routes, and he's not the first option, second option, third option. He's the 4th option. That being said, when we finally call his name, he's young. Oh no. Thielen offers you, when you call my name, I'm going to catch the ball. I'm not going to get a lot of yak. I'm not going to burn nobody. But on a crucial down, and I'm going to be open. And partly why Thielen will be open is because AJ, Devontae, Dallas. But I'll make the catch. Is he high on my priority list? No. But again, I'm always looking to upgrade any position. If we can upgrade running back, wide receiver 4, hell, if we can upgrade punter, I'll look to do it, but it's not on my top priority list. You know what I mean? With that being said, we are now over 2 hours and 30 minutes. I appreciate everybody who came through. Listen, if you want to make sure you're here for the live stream early, because Some of y'all in the chat been here for 2 hours. Some of y'all just got here. Some of y'all were here early and left. Some of y'all left and came back. But if you want to be down right when we start, make sure you got the notification bell hit, subscribe, hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate everybody who came through. We talked a lot about Slay, Gardner Johnson, some draft picks, even Gardner Minshew. But until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out. Peace. Peace.